We do have breaking news into the newsroom this afternoon. The Benton County Sheriff's Office saying 2 people facing charges in connection with vandalizing a memorial for political activist Charlie Kirk. We showed you this video yesterday, posted by District 7 Justice of the Peace Joseph Bollinger. Minutes ago, the Sheriff's Office says Carrie Rollo and Kaylee Rollo, both seen in this video, have been charged with criminal mischief. Kaylee is also facing obstruction of governmental operations. New tonight, the FBI now investigating a former Northwest Arkansas psychiatrist accused of holding patients against their will.
5 News reporter Lauren Spencer is live outside Northwest Medical Center in Springdale, where Dr. Brian Hyatt once led the behavioral health unit. Lauren.
Yeah, Dr. Hyatt worked here for many years, and the FBI is now asking people who may have been victims to come forward. I spoke with one alleged victim today who says today's news by the FBI is satisfying. Hyatt, who once served as a chair of the Arkansas State Medical Board, is facing 1 criminal charge and more than 200 lawsuits. Those suits claim he coerced and abused patients to fraudulently bill Medicare. The FBI is asking any potential victims to come forward by filling out a form on its website. William Van Wy says he stayed at the hospital for 5 days against his will in 2022. He said the news of the FBI stepping in to investigate feels like justice will be served for so many.
I am over the moon. I'm really excited that, people are stepping in and seeing the horrible things that he's been doing to hundreds, if not thousands of people. And I'm really thankful for them.
Since Hyatt's initial arrest in 2023, he's been arrested 2 more times in charges involving alcohol. He's now involuntarily committed to a treatment center. I'll have more reactions from the alleged victims coming up tonight on your 5 News at 10. For now, live in Springdale, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks. City of Fayetteville state funding in jeopardy after the state's attorney general sends the city a letter accusing it of violating state law. An opinion from Tim Griffin says the city broke state law by adopting a sanctuary policy in response to ICE activity. Centers around a June incident when Arkansas State Police asked for assistance from Fayetteville police. At the time, the city confirmed an officer went out but left once seeing ICE there. City claims they did nothing wrong and followed state law. The AG's letter calls for the state to stop sending funds until they prove they have no sanctuary city policy. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman just spoke with the city attorney. She'll have more on this coming up tonight on your 5 News at 10.
Well, continuing coverage on the trial for the man accused of kidnapping a woman from a Bentonville Walmart and then raping her. The trial will go into a 3rd day tomorrow. 5 News reporter Bo Russell has been at the Benton County Courthouse all day today. He explains the testimony that played out in court.
Trial today was filled from start to finish with testimony from expert witnesses, all of them called by the prosecution to start to build a case in the trial of Marco Morales. The day started with video footage provided by Walmart security cameras showing the alleged victim walking to her car. In the footage, a hooded man can be seen sneaking around the car and disappearing near the passenger side door. Among the witnesses today was an employee of a McClarty Daniel dealership who says they recognized Morales' car in photos provided to them by police. That recognition assisted police in locating and arresting Morales. Video footage of Morales' interrogation was also played for jurors. At first, Morales denied ever being at the Walmart, but then changes his story when police say they know he was there. The alleged victim in this case was also scheduled to take the stand today, but that's going to be pushed back to tomorrow. In Bentonville, covering news where you live, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Thanks, Bo. And the man found guilty of hitting and killing a Pea Ridge teen last year will spend 15 years in prison. A jury found Gregory Payne guilty yesterday of leaving the scene of an accident involving death, driving while intoxicated, and driving on an invalid license. Payne was also charged with negligent homicide originally, but the Benton County prosecutor dropped that charge.
It was a tough charge from the start. It's one that we discussed among the office and decided, based on the interpretation of the law, it tended to be a DWI plus. And so based on the crash reconstruction, the medical examiner's report, other information that we received, we decided that we couldn't go forward with that charge.
Payne will also have to take an alcohol safety training course after his release. We're following breaking news out of York County, Pennsylvania right now. We'll take a look at this scene where we know 3 officers are dead. At least 2 others are in critical condition after a shooting. Investigators say this happened while officers were serving a search warrant. This is all unfolding about 104 miles from Philadelphia. We'll update you on the situation tonight at 10.
New at 6, the Arkansas Department of Finance out with a warning of a texting scam that tries to get personal information from you. If you see this text message there on your screen, it is not a real request. The state says the message appears from a government agency and asks for information like social security numbers, bank accounts, tax credentials in order to get your money. Do not provide them with any of this information. Now, the DFA will not send you a text requesting sensitive or financial information. Federal Reserve today cutting interest rates for the first time since last December, rate dropping by 1/4 percentage point in a move to prop the U.S. labor market. Move comes as the Fed continues to assess the impact of tariffs on inflation. It also comes as credit scores have fallen at the fastest pace since the Great Depression. National average FICO score dropped by 2 points this year. That according to data released by the analytics company Tuesday, the most since 2009.
Inflation is sticking around. Interest rates are still really high, even with these cuts from the Fed. So it's just a really tough time for an awful lot of people.
Despite all that, though, Fed Chair Jerome Powell projects more rate cuts at the 2 remaining Fed meetings this year, likely 1/4 point each, depending on the economic data. This comes as Arkansas farmers say they are struggling. Arkansas leaders in Washington say they want to help out. Carter Thweet tells us what Senator John Boozman is saying and why some Arkansas farmers say something better needs to be done quickly.
Farmers face a plethora of challenges these days. That could be anywhere from crop prices to input prices to weather.
Tyler Oxner knows what he's talking about. With the Arkansas Farm Bureau, he works with thousands of farmers every year. Of those challenges he mentioned, one stands out.
Input prices are going up steadily. Commodity prices just haven't been able to keep pace with those.
That means it costs more for farmers to produce their crops, but the money they get in return just isn't as much. Whitney Isbell Jones sees it firsthand, working at family-owned Isbell Farms.
A lot of farmers that we know and love that have farmed for years and that's all they've ever known are going out of business.
Isbell Jones says on the outside, her farm near England looks to be doing well. But if you look at the books and the money they're making, it'll tell a different story.
Rice prices are about 30% less than they were last year. So 30% is a lot. And that is something that we can't control whatsoever. And also what we can't control are our input costs. And we know that everything in the world is more expensive than it was a year ago.
I talked with Senator John Boozman about what could be done. His office attended the meeting of farmers in Northeast Arkansas, and as the Senate's agriculture chairman, he pushed for policies to help farmers in President Trump's big, beautiful bill.
That's going to be great, but that won't kick in until about this time next year. So as a result of that, we're probably going to need to do something like we did last year.
He's referring to the billions of dollars Congress approved as economic assistance for America's farmers in December. He says whether that's the solution or something else, he wants it to come as soon as possible.
We're working with our fellow Congress people, making sure that they understand how difficult it is out there. We're blessed. The Arkansas delegation is totally on board. They're going to do whatever it takes in order to help our farm community.
It was Carter Thweet reporting. Now, some have discussed an updated farm bill as a solution to some of those problems, with the latest one having been passed in 2018. However, Congress has not been able to agree on a new one, meaning they've simply extended the 2018 farm bill for the time being.